Hello there, my name's Stephen Dalton and this is Talehouse. Today, I want to talk to you about the Crimean War, which began in 1853 when Russia invaded Turkey, ostensibly about the protection of Christian minorities. However, we would recognise that the Crimean War began in about 1854 when Britain and France piled in on Turkey's side, probably because we didn't want Russia to win. They were getting a bit too big for their boots. So, what has the Crimean War got to do with an estate in the middle of North London? Well, this is the Crimea estate. You see, when London's population and the house building that went with it exploded in the middle of the 19th century, they suddenly needed lots of things to name all the new streets after. So they named them after famous individuals, either in the local area or the national area, and famous events. So this street is Inkerman Road, a famous battle the British took part in the Crimean War, and you can see an old pub swingboard there called the Crimea, which represents the charge of the Light Brigade on the board there. You, wherever you live, wherever in Britain, will have this sort of thing going on. Streets named after famous people and famous events that come from the building of the late 19th century. This street is on a map in 1859, but it doesn't have a name like Inkerman does back there. By 1860, it does have a name. It's called Alma Street, just like today. Now, Alma was the first battle of the Crimean War that the British fought in, and Inkerman was the third. I know, what's the second? That's called Balaclava. I know, yes, you're quite right, like the woolly bank robber's mask. Indeed, you see, the Crimean War was when reportage first began, and people wanted to ape their heroes by wearing the same clothes they did, like supporting them with Help for Heroes Today, same kind of thing. Even more popular was the leader of the charge of the Light Brigade, Tennyson's poem Into the Valley of Death Rode the 600. He was called Earl Cardigan, and people started to wear the same woolly jacket that he did. That's where we get it from. The leader of the British forces, Lord Raglan, he is a street over there named after him. But by far, the most important person we know from the Crimean War is Florence Nightingale. She saw the reportage coming back from the Crimean War and she was appalled at the wounds and the suffering of the British soldiers. So she got a team of 38 nurses together and went out there determined to make an improvement herself. At first, it was a struggle. She couldn't get the supplies or the improved sanitation she was demanding from the British forces. However, when they eventually gave in to her, the death rate fell from above 40% down to 2%, a remarkable improvement. However, her most important invention was the pie chart. Yes, that's right. In her later years, she presented a lot of her information in this very compelling fashion, popularizing the use of the pie chart. Well, it was a polar chart, but it's very similar. And who takes any notice? Right at the end of Alma Street, there's this huge factory built in the middle of the 19th century by a man called Claudius Ashe. I know, I had no idea who he is either. He doesn't have a street named after him or anything. Well, Claudius Ashe was a small silver and goldsmith working down in St. James until one day some gentleman came in and said to him, "Can you make us some gold dental plates?" Well, he did. He made the best gold dental plates they had ever seen. With hinges and springs, they fitted perfectly and they lasted. Pretty soon word got around and Claudius was making more money from dental plates than he was from making jewellery. And he thought, maybe I should do more of this. The dental industry was not regulated, so anybody could do it. And he said, do you know there's a problem? Because the teeth made from bone that they often use get stained. They don't work properly. People are fed up of having dead men's teeth from soldiers on battlefield, so-called Waterloo teeth, that he thought, I'm going to make porcelain ones with my dental springs and dental plates made out of gold. They took off so much that he was able to build this factory pretty soon afterwards, and it was the largest false teeth factory in all of Europe. They still make false teeth today, and maybe you have a bit of ash in your face. Ha! So there it is, from these teeth through my mouth to you. Chew on that. That's the Crimea estate in North London. Do you notice anything a bit odd going on today? I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable. Who are these people?